commission. And I ask you folks today to continue doing your job, and I applaud the job that you've done in the past, and I assume you're going to do in the future. And as far as this well in Sioux County, every injection well that's bound or held by you folks are stuck in the same aquifer and has the same downfalls that we're hearing of today. And when the Interstate 80 poked its way through southern Nebraska, everybody in Cheyenne County would have been in here if we could have stopped it. But at that time I didn't live here, and those people shared with me that they were very opposed to that highway. And I think that highway is no different than these injection wells. It's just a step of the future. And we need to live with the safety that you professional people, and I personally know that Bill and Tom and Bob know what they're doing, and they are protecting our aquifers and our groundwater. And I'm confused what Mr. Osborne's going to do with the mess he left on our desk today. I think that water should be the first water to go through the new disposal well, if it complies with the state and federal regulations that it takes to build an injection well in western Nebraska. But as far as the Okalala aquifer, every oil well and every injection well is already in that aquifer. So our Senate, our national people need to make sure that all of those wells are protected, as everybody here that's from Sioux County is concerned about, that we protect, but not just the one well. We need to protect all of our wells in Nebraska, and I'm sure you folks are all well aware of that. And in closing, again, I'd like to thank you folks for doing an exemplary job with what you do and putting up with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sam Somerville, who lives about 7 miles south of the well, right on the highway there. I got a couple of questions here. Have you guys ever read an MSDS sheet on the chemicals that are going into this fracking? One of them is benzene. And if you read that, that should be enough to convince you. If you don't read it, well, the good Lord gave us a good land, and I trust that you'll think about Him when you make your decision today. Thank you. That's all I got to say.
My name is Rick Kirby. I'm a landowner, a rural resident of Sioux County. I get all my water from a freshwater well located on my farm. My water supply is limited. I practice conservation strategies to put it to best use and keep the farmstead home and building supply. The farm produces a yearly dry land wheat crop. As an operations manager for Kimball's Hazardous Waste Incinerator during its flagship building with Amoco, and continued with the plant under Waste Tech and through Clean Harbors buyout. I was employed there for 4 years. There's a great deal of opposition and fear about the waste incinerator during its building process. People was buzzed in protest, rumors, and went wild. Many meetings were held, the DEQ in the state of Nebraska, and the plant owners met with those concerns. This plant was operated safely now for over 20 years. I am now employed at Antelope Energy with the acceptance of my employment at the waste incinerator. I have been employed in the oil field industry for over 37 years. My point in giving my background is to emphasize that I am familiar with the rules and regulations for both the natural resources, oil and water, as being commented on here today. I want to state in no way why I actively support something that would endanger my water, my farm, and my rural lifestyle. I do believe that as a society, we enjoy and utilize cars, trucks, farm equipment, natural gas, electricity, plastic, rubber, and many more projects that people realize oil possible from the production of petroleum. Like any industry, the production of petroleum generates waste, and it is important that the waste be handled properly. I have overseen disposal wells here in Nebraska as well in Colorado and Wyoming, and I know and understand the rules and regulations that are in place and enforced by the states named to permit and operate these wells. We have the necessary rules and regulations in place. I know firsthand that the law safety measure is important work. For these reasons, I support the approval of this disposal valve.
Hello. Thank you for taking our comments. My name is Nancy Kyle. I'm a Sioux County resident. I and my husband owned a couple of acres there at Glen. We have built our home from the ground up. I am privileged with the citizenship of the United States government as well as the Oglala Sioux tribe. My father's family immigrants into Sioux County over by the Hudson Bay. My mother's family came from the Oglala Sioux tribe. They met, and I sit before you today the answer to Oglala Lakota and immigrant prayers. Have you formally consulted with First Nation governments about the Terex UIC 1414 permit application, or any that you have approved? NEPA requires environmental assessments and consultation procedures be done on environments that impact First Nations peoples. Your website states you are supported by the United States Department of Energy. I'm on record opposing this permit. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kyle.
On a Sandhills Ranch drinking pure aquifer water straight from flowing wells and windmills. I'm here to be a voice for water. I believe our state depends on the overall aquifer for our future. I ask that the application for the Sioux County disposal well be denied. I also ask that a moratorium be placed on all disposal wells until further independent studies have been completed. The Oil and Gas Commission does not seem properly suited to address water contamination and health concerns related to wastewater injection wells. Forcing 420,000 gallons of toxic waste daily down a 4.5-inch tube through 550 feet of clean water is a major threat to the aquifer. Injection well casings have notorious failure rates. Reports describe toxic waste stored under pressure below an aquifer migrating upward, contaminating clean, usable aquifers. Rock layers are not impermeable, and earthquakes triggered from the increased pressure can open up even more pathways for migration. According to a study published in the journal called Groundwater, it's not a matter of if fluid will move through rock layers, it's when. Tom Myers, the hydrologist, informs that rock layers meant to entrap injected waste are not impermeable. He states, it's out of sight, out of mind now. But he asks the question, how about 50 years from now? Mario Salazar, an engineer for 25 years with EPA's underground injection program in Washington, states, quote, in 10 to 100 years, we are going to find out that most of our groundwater is polluted. A lot of people are going to get sick and a lot of people may die, unquote. Mr. Sitto, you told the Scottsbluff Star-Herald, quote, the water will be pumped into a geological layer that could hold billions of barrels of water, covering hundreds of thousands of square miles. It's almost infinite acting, unquote. Toxic waste spread out hundreds of square miles beneath the Ogallala Aquifer is absolutely an abominable mistake for Nebraska. That's it.
My name is Jane Sayre, S-A-Y-R-E, 210727 County Road D, Scottsbluff County. Current board member of Western Nebraska Resources Council. I'm a third-generation native Nebraskan raised in Mitchell, Nebraska. I'm a landowner in Scottsbluff County, 3 miles south of the Sioux County line. I'm a taxpayer, and I'm a concerned citizen for the health and well-being of our environment, including air, land, water, and the integrity and preservation of these systems for the future generations. Specifically regarding the proposed wastewater well injection project in Sioux County, I respectfully request the Commission to place a moratorium on the permit and conduct a thorough study with scientific, objective, third-party evaluation as to the safety, viability, and liabilities that must be considered before an intelligent decision can be made. Relatively new projects need updated, and laws need regulations. The state of Nebraska is woefully behind in placing these environmental protections in our state. The fracking wastewater chemicals are designed to penetrate geological formations. We've heard this said many times today. How exactly can we be guaranteed that these